Hello, 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 and welcome back to another edition of the Brothers-in-law. I'm your host, Corey Taylor, and tonight I got my homeboy with me, Mr. Michael Bradley. For those of you who are new to our show, I am a retired Navy Chief Petty Officer, and also a former Virginia State police officer. And Michael Bradley is a retired police officer out of Pleasanton, California, with 26 years of service. Welcome to the show, Mike. What's going on, baby?
Not much, man. Just living the life right now, putting out this good information.
Yeah, living that retired life.
It ain't bad,
Yes,
man. It ain't bad. I tell
it
you.
ain't bad. No, it ain't. So, hey, so welcome to the show, everybody. Again, we're the Brothers-in-law. Like, share, and subscribe to our page if you're new, and let us know what you think about this show and other shows that we've done in the past. Tonight, we're going to be talking about an incident that occurred back on July the 4th up in East Syracuse in a small town called DeWitt, involving police and two black ladies in a Walmart. I'll go ahead and set that up and we get the ball rolling.
Okay.
So what happened? These young ladies, I guess, had gotten into an altercation with another young lady a couple of days before this incident took place, and they saw this lady here in Walmart, and they confront this lady inside the Walmart. And as you'll see, going out through the video, the altercation gets a little out of control, and then ultimately the police were called. And so we're going to break this down. We'll give you our points of views about this incident, whether or not these police officers acted unprofessionally or unreasonable. And so tonight's question will be, did these officers act reasonably? In other words, did they do things what a normal officer would have done? And so without further ado, I'll go ahead and play the video. And so before I do that, sorry, this gentleman here, this officer here, he's, I guess, their spokesperson. So I fast forward up to the end of his conversation. He's just setting up the video and letting you know what's taking place. So that's who he is. And so here we go.
All right.
Arguing with employees and striking them in the face.
So the one lady in question here in the white dress, if you watch her left hand, she pulls out something, sprays the one lady right here in the blue, so like blue shorts or whatever, in the face. They said she sprayed her with mace. Her and I guess it might have been her daughter in the face.
That's assault number one.
Yeah, that's assault number one. You can't do that. And this here lady here in the black halter top here with the black scarf on her head, that's her sister. So she comes in the scene here and tries to confront this lady here who got assaulted with the pepper spray. And you can see the little girl crying right there because she got sprayed too. And let me know when you want me to stop it, Mike.
No, I think so. The women that this lady in the black is now talking to. I'm assuming, were they trying to break up the contact? Were they trying to get her to leave? I assume they were trying to do those things.
Yeah, it looks like they were trying to break it up, but then she just encounters them for whatever reason.
Okay, and then she just hit one lady.
Yeah, she hit the one lady.
Assault number two, please.
Mm-hmm. And she
So
gets her
now
again.
they're having words with each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so during this time frame, I'm assuming also too, this is where the police are being called to the scene.
Okay. And she walks back.
Yeah, and so what I'll do here is just
camera recording
go ahead and fast forward it up to where the officers make their entrance into Walmart. I'll just back it up to the end of his conversation, but here we go.
Their back, stomach, or neck.
In the flat, very certain that you don't know the rate and shit and everything else. Supposedly there was a mention of me. There's other emails that were playing. This is one of the trees right here.
She really just, I got 90 and this is so.
Pause it for a second.
Okay, hold on.
Okay. So I'm assuming, and I remember we spoke about this earlier, but so the officer, the reason why he goes and targets that first woman in the dark was it sounds like he already knew that something took place here with pepper spray, and she's the most aggressive one going into it. So he's gonna be she's gonna be obviously be the first one to make safe, put some handcuffs on, detain her for number one, figure out who they need to detain next. Right. That's how I'm understanding this. If I was an officer, that would be in my mind when I come on scene of a report of some kind of assault, disturbance, especially when pepper spray had been used. Then the first person that I'm sure they described these two females when they got there, right? And we knew who they were looking for. So that's going to be the first thing in my mind as an officer is let me physically detain who I need to detain to make it safe, and we'll figure out what next steps need to be taken, if any at all. That would be in my mind. What about you, Corey?
Yeah, I mean, because I think they knew who the aggressor was, because if you listen to I don't know if he was an employee, he might have been their security there. Mm-hmm. He kind of described the lady who the aggressor one was, and that's why he was able to go directly right up to her.
Okay, got it.
And she was being aggressive, the aggressive one there anyways. And so, yeah, I mean, I would probably done the same thing. Go ahead and just detain her. And then if somebody else was involved, if I knew, then I would have detained them as well.
Right.
But I don't think, as we'll see in the video, that they didn't get to get that far into it. So we'll keep it on moving then.
Okay.
Now, two.
Okay.
You hear the girl in the white talking about, oh, not in front of my kids, can't do this in front of kids. That's not an excuse, folks.
Yeah, I agree.
That's not an excuse. In fact, my question back to her is, well, why are you acting like this in front of your kids? Mm-hmm. Why are you coming to Walmart acting a fool?
If I'm putting handcuffs on you, we've already reached a point where we're past your kids at that point. I am physically detaining you. I don't need someone else to interfere and make me now unsafe while I have a detained suspect or whatever you want to call her. Subject, suspect. I have a person physically detained. I don't want her sister or anybody else for that matter to now approach me in a confrontational manner to where now I got to worry about the person I'm physically detaining, and I have to worry about the next person who is being confrontational with me, trying to tell me not to do something. You see what I'm saying? That doesn't work that way. You never do that as a citizen.
No.
If you see an officer physically detaining someone, you leave that officer alone and let the officer physically detain him. You see what I'm saying? That's what you do.
That was just a big no. You don't come up and then try to start pulling on.
No,
You know,
no.
I know that was your sister, and nobody wants to see somebody get handcuffed. But yeah, they knew what they did was wrong. They knew, and now they trying.
Even if they didn't, though, you know what I'm saying? They knew that the officers were. They knew who the officers were, and what I mean is they knew that they were police officers. Mm-hmm. They knew that this officer was physically detaining the sister. They knew that. So once you know that, you need to step back and let those officers continue with what they are doing. Now, if you have more information to add to tell the officer what you say happened, you'll have an opportunity to do that. But right now, in my mind as an officer, my first priority is to make this scene safe. And if I feel I need to handcuff you, that's what I'm going to do. Okay? Doesn't mean you're arrested. When you get handcuffed, that doesn't mean you're arrested. That just means we are physically detaining you to make sure you don't hurt me or you don't hurt anybody else. Period.
Right. Or yourself. Right.
Or yourself. That's right.
All right, here we go.
I'm black. It's okay. It's okay. Go ahead. You can talk to me. You can talk to me. Go ahead. It's all right. It's fine.
Now that's beautiful. We love that. You can cuff me. All right.
When I walk up, going aggressive towards them.
They trying to charge my sister.
We're gonna walk into the car. We're gonna figure this out. You just need to say at this point.
Now you heard that, right? Mm-hmm. He was, because you know what's gonna happen once this really gets out into social media and that certain 3-letter group gets a hold of this, they gonna throw the race card out there.
Yeah.
On full blast. At this point,
nothing to do with race.
Yeah, at this point, nothing to do with race. You heard him talk to her in a very soft-spoken voice. Hey, when I show up on scene here, you're the aggressive one, so I got to detain you. Right now, you're not under arrest. Right now, you're just being detained. Nothing wrong with that. And in fact, she's
take you out to the car. We'll talk out there so we can figure out what this is all about. If I need to take the cuffs off of you at that point, okay, no problem.
No problem.
But we need to figure out.
Right now, everything is cool. I mean, even though she's running off in the mouth saying, it's okay, you can F me, which I don't know what that.
I don't know what that meant, but
I don't know what that meant.
Yeah, we know what she said, but we don't know what at the time she actually meant by that. I don't know.
Right.
But she's fine. She said, "Go ahead, you can cuff me. Go ahead." Yeah. That's awesome. Oh, that's awesome. We love to hear those words.
Right now, we good. We good right now. You know what I mean? Yep. But as we'll see here in a second, that all changes. Here we go.
Right now, harassment.
Watch who was. The one that got screaming names. Because they jumped my sister just 2 days ago. They hurt my sister.
That one's screaming.
They just hurt my sister. They just jumped my sister's a month pregnant. My sister is pregnant. My sister is pregnant. What? The other girl got mixed. They black because they east, but they white. So you're hurting my arm. I'm not pulling away. I got beat by cops before. I'm not pulling away from you. I'm black.
We're going to go to the office.
Oh, they're going to jump me? Wow.
Go to the office.
I don't even know what she's talking about right now. I mean, she's just being insane, trying to get her out to the car. She's talking about something that happened yesterday. They're going to jump me. I don't know what she's talking about. Well, let's go figure it.
I'm going to leave. All right. No, my sister's pregnant. My sister's pregnant. No.
And here's where it goes south. Pause it right there for a minute. Now, clearly, what it looks like, the other officer going out with the first female said, he saw his partner come in and said, okay, you need to detain the other girl in the white. So he told her, he goes to try to detain her, try to put cuffs on her. She immediately starts to argue, fight, and resist. I don't know why she does that. She's trying to use the excuse that she's pregnant. Okay, we ain't trying to hurt you. I'm just trying to put handcuffs on you, detain you, and figure out what this is all about. Yeah, I know your kids are here. That's fine. I still got to detain you. I got to put cuffs on you. You cannot pull away and fight. What she is doing right now is going to create a situation that is going to be way more elevated than it needs to be. That's her right here. Pulling away, resisting being cuffed with the excuse that I'm pregnant. You can't do that. Like you said earlier, just because you're pregnant, that's got nothing to do with the fact that I need to put cuffs on you. If I need to handcuff you, you being pregnant does not stop me from handcuffing. Okay, you'll be fine as long as you ain't fighting. But when you start fighting, why would you be fighting? That reminds.
And understand too, when cops go to put handcuffs on you, they double lock them, and they double lock them for a reason, so it doesn't they don't lock down onto your wrist and cut circulation off on you. But there's a little check technique that we do a 2-finger check to make sure you got enough space in it. But you notice how she was saying, don't, you're pulling on me, you're squeezing on me. Well, he had it by the elbow. So the only reason why she's, saying that is because she's resisting. He's got to grab onto and hold her so she doesn't break away and get away from him. So that's where, that comes in. And that's not a use of force. And he's not trying to do anything to harm her. He's just trying to keep positive control over her. But every time that she's moving, it causes him to strengthen on his hold.
Right.
So I mean that has nothing to do.
Higher actions, right? A higher level of physical detainment, if you will.
I
mean, we're pulling away from it.
Right. Real quick, let's talk about the different levels of forces. Now, could these officers have used their OC spray on these ladies?
If she's resisting the way she is, they could have. But the reason why he probably didn't do that, now I'm speculating here, I'm not in his mind, but if I were that officer physically detaining her like that, he's using both his hands. So he feels like he has the best hold on her with both his hands. If he were to try to grab pepper spray, he would have to let go one hand, which would weaken his grip. So he's at that split second, I'm trying to physically overcome her physical force towards me. Okay? I got to get her hands behind her back. That's what I'm trying to do as an officer. I'm not trying to hurt her. I'm not trying to do anything more than I need to do. That's why we always tell people comply. You know what I'm saying? Don't physically resist like that, because now I have to use more force to overcome what you are showing me. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It could have used pepper spray. If you carry pepper spray, at this point, I could see him using pepper spray. Although, like I said, I'm not going to let go of my grip like that yet.
Right.
Not yet anyway.
Yeah, he probably could have used OC spray. But again, you're in close proximity like that. I don't think I would have. This is
something else to think about. Yeah.
Right. He's got to think about that. But understand how escalation of force works to maintain control of the situation. Those are things he could have. Remember, they got the tools around their waist for a reason. To maintain positive control, to get that person under control once you start what we call bucking or resisting against the officer. So those are some of the things he could have used. Now, again, that's also has to be in compliance with their operational procedures.
Right.
So again, every department is different, but the tools are there to be used. They're just not there for fashion. All right. So, so to say that these officers escalated the situation, I think we can go ahead and set that rumor aside. I don't think they never escalated the situation. No. But again, the voice tone of the officers, of both the officers, at this point are still in a professional manner and very monotone voice.
Mm.
So, all right, ready to keep it moving?
Let's keep it moving.
Yeah, at this point, she knocked the officer's body camera off, so that's why it went black. We'll get another angle here in a second. Now, this is an overview from the store camera of what just happened. And you see at the bottom of the screen there, you see here in the white dress, resisting.
Resist and pull away from the officer.
Mm-hmm.
Now, keep in mind, all she has to do is put your hand by your back, be cuffed. Let's figure this out. All the yelling and screaming just makes things worse. That's why we say remain calm. Okay? We'll figure it out. As officers, we'll figure this out. Just because you're handcuffed does not equal arrest all the time. This means I need to physically control you and figure out what's going on. So she is clearly fighting. Yeah. And now the girl in the black, the other female that the other officer has, is yelling and screaming and trying to, they're trying to detain her, and she starts acting up. So that's what keep going.
Oh, you need me to stop it?
No, that's good.
Okay.
Because I just remember that the girl in the black, she starts kicking stuff around.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
She's really trying to fight. I think at this moment right here, she seems okay, but see, now she starts all the kicking and stuff. Now she's kicking all this stuff over. Yeah, and again, the officer, see, just because you're handcuffed, folks, doesn't mean that you're still not a threat. You see this right here. She has use of her feet. She's still a threat.
She doesn't even care where her kids are at this point. She starts kicking over boxes while she's cuffed, and you can see she's starting to kick the boxes towards the officer that is detaining her sister, because she's trying to hit that officer with the boxes, clearly.
In fact, one of them does. One of the boxes she kicks does hit the officer.
And then the guy in the red comes up. All right, I hear you. And he wants to start talking like he's trying to interfere verbally anyway. He doesn't interfere, fortunately. But
and I'll just say, to our audience, tell folks, stay back. Don't come in and run your mouth. Your best defense right now is just pull your cell phone out and record.
Sure. Yeah. There you go. Nothing wrong with that. I don't mind if you record.
And leave it go at that. Yep. Because what he's doing, and we talk about the guy in the red right here, what he's probably going to do is one, two things. And I'm surprised that the officer didn't. He definitely maintained control over himself, because I think if that guy would have got any closer to him, he would have tased him. At one point, you'll see in the video, and he's yelling at him, telling him to get back. He has his taser out, and this is the one that has the older, or I don't know if she's older, but the sister in the black top. He's, has his taser out, telling that gentleman, to get back. But he's just all talk right now, which is, it's fine, but do not interfere.
Right.
And do not interfere with law enforcement.
With both of those officers now, this guy in the red pants, even though he isn't actively physically trying to do anything, he is now a threat to those officers too.
Correct.
Because they have to worry about trying to physically detain the two females. But now when the guy in the red pants inserts himself, now he's another threat. Now I got to worry about that threat, whether or not he's going to do something, and try to physically detain the person I'm trying to detain.
Right.
That's why you don't get involved, folks.
That's why you don't get involved. Your best defense is just go ahead and or offense, I should say, is go ahead and pull your cell phone out and record. Right. That's about the best. The best thing you can be right now is a witness.
Yep. And as an officer, I don't mind you recording one bit. I love
not at all.
Just do it. Don't get involved and make me feel threatened by your physical presence of being close to me while I'm in a confrontation. Right. But record all day, please.
Yeah, record all day because, like I say, these guys got a lot to worry about. There's a store full of people right now. These are the two active, aggressive people that they've detained right now, but they don't know who else is involved in this. They don't know, and so you can't just come up and just start hooting because they don't know that right now. They're probably thinking this guy has something to do with it. They don't know.
Right. They don't know.
Right.
I don't know. This guy could be coming up to me trying to take these two women away from me. We've seen that before. We don't know what they're doing. What he's doing.
Don't insert yourself. If you're not a part of it, do not insert yourself. That is a good way for you to get charges brought up on you too, or you getting tased because now you want to come up and start running your mouth. And I believe what he was talking about was, telling them to take off the badge and, I F you up and this, that stuff. Dude, just get back, videotape and move on. Don't insert yourself. Don't do that, folks. Please don't do that.
Don't do that. And just for the record, up to this point, I don't see anything unreasonable that these officers did up to this point.
Correct. Up to this point, you're right. See that one box hitting. So that's an assault on an officer.
Yeah. And she's pregnant. Okay, we got that. We're trying to be, but why is she fighting? Again, if she's pregnant, she shouldn't be fighting. This would have never happened had she just turned around and let him put the cuffs on. You see what I'm saying? She's the one in the white is causing this, has caused this to happen.
I don't know who that lady is in the orange.
I don't know.
I don't know if she had something to do with it or not.
And the one in the black is still kicking.
Yeah, she's still kicking.
Kick somebody. Okay, he got the girl in the white standing up.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, they're trying to get them outside to the patrol cars. Yeah, he had to do that because she's just kicking. She's still kicking and fighting.
Hold on, what'd you say about that? He had to do that.
As you can see, when he got her up, she's still trying to pull away, kick, and fight. So that looked bad when he had her leg like that, but the way she's squirming and kicking, that reasonably could happen.
I mean, again, he's got to get control of the situation. Got to get up. You acting like this. At this point, I need to get you out of this store. So I'm gonna get you up, get you on your feet. It's not gonna be pretty, folks. These things never are pretty.
And by the way, when we say it's not gonna be pretty, we gotta understand when we say that, what we mean is if you are kicking and fighting and being unfair towards the police officer in a physical fight, you can't expect the police officers to, we got to put a barrier on. We can only get so physical with you. You see what I'm saying? There's no such thing as a fair fight. If you coming at me pretty hard, I'm gonna come at you harder. That's the thing. And people don't understand that because it's all about overtaking and controlling you physically. So
now
you can't let all hell loose on the police officer and then expect the police officer to hold back.
Keep in mind what you just said. When we come hard, when they come at you, you come harder. Keep that in mind. What you just said here.
Okay, I know you're going with it too.
Here we go.
Oh, and she tries to bite him.
She tried to bite him, and here's the problem. Or is it?
He kind of punches her in the side of her neck there.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So, I mean, that's pretty much it right there. The rest they actually do finally get her back up and they're able to get her out. But that's why this video made the news, is because of that strike right there. And now we have to decipher or the department has to decipher not whether that was excessive use of force.
Yeah. Now,
what do you think?
You know, that's I'm on the fence with that. And I'll be frank with you. As an officer, would my response have been to punch her in the side of the neck? Probably not. However, I can't look at that one incident of that moment he decided to do that and say that was completely unjustified. I can't say that either. You see what I'm saying? If someone bites me in the arm, or I see they are actively trying to bite me, okay, my natural reflex is going to do whatever I feel I need to do to stop you from doing that. For instance, we said earlier, if that video showed her actually locked onto his arm with her teeth, and then he punches her like that, would have absolutely no problem with that. I can actually absolutely see that happen. And I would have done the same in that type of situation. Now, this is a situation where she didn't actually get to lock onto his arm. Fortunately, she didn't do that, but she clearly was actively trying to bite him. Now, do I think he had some anger in that when he did that? Yeah, he probably did. To be frank with you, he probably did. If somebody trying to bite me, I'll be a little pissed off too. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? The fact that I'm in uniform, hey, you try to bite me, you might get popped too. Okay, I ain't gonna lie. Now, we're gonna get in trouble for that. I definitely will make sure we lay out all the incidences, what led up to that, what caused me to make that decision, and what happened afterwards. You see what I'm saying? And let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have struck her, but I can see why he did it. With you, I'm kind of a little on the fence with that, but I mean, they're human too. They have natural reactions. That's like you waking me up in the middle of the night and you're scared of bejesus. I mean, I strike you, I hit you. Well, that's not natural, but that's why they tell you, don't wake, be careful how you wake people up in the middle of the night. That natural reaction that we have when we are in a frightened state, I guess you can say. But I definitely would have put her on the ground. She'd have been kissing that ground.
Yeah, she definitely would have been pruned out. She would have went down on that ground. She'd have went down hard.
Yeah, okay. I would have definitely put her down on the ground, and then I would have had somebody will get my leg restraints, and I would have tied her legs up.
Yeah, and I would have put a spit bag on her face, because if she's trying to bite somebody, do something with her arm, with her mouth like that, I don't want her to bite nobody. that officer may have reacted the way he did also because he was in fear of her trying to bite him again. She's actively trying to bite him. She clearly was trying to bite him the first time. She probably would have done it again. She probably didn't try it after she got punched in the neck. Okay. You could seriously hurt somebody, sure, punching them in the neck. That's where I'm on the fence about it. Is what she did, would that result in the use of deadly force? No, I don't think so. I wouldn't have used deadly force in that situation.
No. I mean,
This is a fight.
The thing is, what we need everybody to understand is, though, even though you're handcuffed, and we said this a few minutes ago, even though you're handcuffed, the threat is not over. It's not over. You can still do damage with your feet, as you just saw. And you saw her, even though she's handcuffed, she still tried to attempt to bite the officer. Another assault.
Yeah.
So just because you're handcuffed doesn't mean that the situation is over, that the officer needs to just relax their posture. No, you at all times, the officer still has to maintain positive control of the whole situation. The officer cannot let their guard down. Just think if he had let his guard down and didn't have positive control of her, she could have went running all around that store, kicking and biting anybody she came in contact with. So
or she could have chomped down on his arm pretty good, given knowing what happened to him, right? So and they keep saying that she was pregnant. The one girl was pregnant. Well, that's if so that should be a concern. Number one, officers consider that definitely. But if I need to physically detain you and you start fighting me, I'm not going to hold back on what I need to do to physically detain you because you say you're pregnant. You see what I'm saying? Now, clearly, I'm not going to punch you in the stomach. You see what I'm saying? Sure. I'm going to do whatever I can to physically overcome you so I can detain you safely. But if, as a citizen, you should be more concerned about the behavior of these two females leading up to from the start of this, leading up to the contact with police, and after the contact with police. As a citizen, I would be more concerned about that. Number one, you do have your kids with you. Number two, you are pregnant. Why are you in here causing this kind of havoc in Walmart with these two kids? You see what I'm saying? You didn't care about them two kids when you was kicking those boxes all around trying to hit the officer with the boxes. You didn't care about the two kids or being pregnant when you were trying to bite the officer in the arm. You didn't care about those things then. Why is it that all of a sudden now, you want to say you can't touch me because I'm pregnant? It doesn't work like that, people. It doesn't work like that. If I gotta detain you, I'm going to detain you. I don't care if you're pregnant. You see what I'm saying? Now, I will consider that, and I might alter some things when I can as far as my physical contact with you, sure. But if you make that worse for me and you try to stop that from happening through unreasonable means, well, I got to use whatever I got to do to overcome you. So don't put me in that position. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to hurt you, because especially if you're pregnant. We ain't trying to hurt you at all.
Correct. Not trying to do that at all. I mean, I think had they complied from the start, it wouldn't never had gotten this far.
No.
I don't know what was going on inside their heads to take it to this level. And clearly they were at the store. Now I don't know if they knew this woman was going to be at the store or how they got into contact. They just by coincidence ended up at the store at the same time. They saw her and they took it upon themselves to confront this woman inside the store. And you can't bring in, oh, she assaulted my sister 2 days ago. Well, you don't sell it at Walmart.
Right. 2 days
later. If they assaulted your sister, then your sister should have done the right thing and call the police and file a report. and bring charges up on that young lady that you said assaulted you. So there's a right and wrong way to handle things. Walmart is not the place to do it,
And when you
or
spray
any other
somebody
public place.
when you spray somebody with mace, that's an assault. People got to realize that too. That's an
You can't
assault.
do
You
that.
spray somebody with mace, you can't do that.
You can't do
you
that.
can't spray somebody with mace 2 days later from when you said they
They did
assaulted
something
you.
to you, right?
So that's not self-defense at that point.
Yeah,
That's
it's
you
that.
just
Yeah,
trying to get back at them. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Well, you get in trouble for that too. So you can't come in there with dirty hands and say, officer, you can't do that. You can't do that.
Right.
That's not, this very well could have resulted. I've had thousands of these kinds of calls. Okay, in my career, going to Walmart, going to Target, going to any department store, whether it's a disturbance call, whether it's a fight, or whether it's a theft. 9 times out of 10, had they not fought with the police, they probably would have been escorted out to the parking lot. Okay, let me hear your side of the story and see what's going on, right? We would have probably ended up, if anything, cited and released them right there in the parking lot, and they would have been on their way. Because, yeah, you do have kids. We don't want to be responsible for your kids, and we don't have to. So if I could cite release you on a misdemeanor crime, I'd be more than happy to do that, okay? But the other side of that coin is, I think a lot of citizens need to know too. In my experience as police officers dealing with these kinds of calls, oftentimes it's a common tactic for people to bring their kids with them to shoplift at the mall or shoplift at Walmart, because their thinking is, if I have my kids with me, the officer ain't going to do nothing to me. He's going to let me go because I need to take care of my kids. That's a common thing. Just like when they have some medical issue or they start saying, I can't breathe. That's very common for criminals to say that, because they know that if there's a medical issue, I got to call the medical people out here, and in some way it's going to delay them from being booked into jail. And in many cases, they won't be booked into jail. They'll be cited released anyway because of the medical issue. So that's a very common thing that criminals do. Now, in this case, obviously they weren't stealing. They were causing some, they would get into a fight and assaulting people and spraying them with pepper spray. You see what I'm saying? But, in this case, like I said, should more attention be put on the officer punching the girl, or should more attention be put on the behavior that these girls displayed that led up to this type of confrontation with kids, with someone being pregnant?
Cause and effect.
Yeah. Cause and
effect. They come in causing a disturbance within inside the store, and the effect was she got tapped in the jaw.
Yeah, she got tapped in the jaw.
Cause and effect. So if she didn't come in there, or they didn't come in there causing a disturbance, then there would have been no effect. Or even if they just, all right, you know what, we're gonna talk about this. Let's go. Yep, detain me. I don't know what made them flip the script, which is mind-boggling to me. In the beginning, the sister in the black with the black top on, it's like, it's okay, let them handcuff me. And I'm like, okay, cool. You stand calm.
Right.
Okay, so if you stand calm, you're gonna follow the acronym, comply, answer questions, move on. And then you flip the script. So I'm not understanding what is wrong with our people that, we got to flip the script and think that we now got to fight. For what? You just made the situation 40 times worse than what it should have been. These ladies should have, like you said, should have got released on a summons and gone about their way.
Yeah.
But now you got all kind of, misdemeanors, maybe a felony in there for I don't know if it's a felony anymore up that way, but I don't even think it is here anymore. It used to be when you saw the officer, was a felony charge. But either or, you getting hit with some misdemeanors, more than child endangerment into. So you made the situation worse than what it had to be. We don't need to be doing this, folks. When the officers show up on scene, it's game over. Now you need to follow the acronym, staying calm, compliant, answering questions, listening, moving on. Whatever that case is, had been getting carried off to jail. Excuse me. So be it. Go to jail. At least you don't have any additional charges brought up on you, and you're not dead.
Right. You're
Because
not hurt.
you chose-
You're not doing anything. You haven't created a situation that's bigger than it really needed to be.
Needed to be, and that's what we needed to convey to you all. Is just stay calm. Once the officers show up on scene, it's game over. Now it's time to stay calm and follow the acronym and move on.
Now, do you think this was a racial issue? I think the same thing would have happened if this chick was doing what she was doing and she was any other race. As an officer, I would have responded the same way. It didn't matter to me what color you were. You are showing me what your actions are causing my reaction. You see what I'm saying? So if the communities want to throw in a racial thing, that's ridiculous in this situation. That I just don't see that. You see what I'm saying? We can't take the responsibility away from the two females who acted the way they did. We can't just erase that,
Right?
Because the officer chin checked her.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
And
should the officer punched her? I'll tell you, hey, we both. It sounds like we are both on the fence with that one. Would we have punched her in the side of the neck? I don't know. Probably not. But again, she would have went down on the ground hard. Okay. And
she definitely would have been taken down to the ground.
And can I understand why that officer had that reflex and punched her like that? Yeah,
sure.
I can understand that. Should he have done it? Hey, I mean, you be the judge of that. Should he lose his job for it? No. Should he be fired for that? No. He should still continue to be an officer. I'm not going to use that one incident and say, "Oh, this is a bad officer." I'm going to say that. You see what I'm saying?
No, you got to look at the total situation. You can't just watch that part of the video and assume that he just hit her for no reason. No, It was a reason, cause and effect. It was a reason why he acted that way or he did that in that moment. But you can't see. We can't make these two sisters out to be like they're the victims now.
No, they make
They were wrong from the jump.
I don't even think you can make this a police brutality type of situation. I really can't.
I don't.
You know what I'm saying?
I see that as a hard case. I also see it as you there's no way you can call this a racial incident. He did this because she was a black female. No.
You say it.
Yeah, you can't say that. I mean, no, there were no signs of it. I mean, they were very professional the whole time. In my opinion, I didn't see anything that they did that I would not have done. Now, the only thing I will say, I think, and I see why he didn't do it because of the situation, but I would have quickly got that sister out of there a lot faster and then came back and helped my partner detain the one in the white. And I see why he didn't. I still see why he didn't do it. I mean, because it was a very hostile situation going on. But I think he could have, called in, tell the backup unit to expedite getting there a little faster to get her out of there.
Yeah, that would have definitely helped because it wouldn't have given her time to see her sister being handcuffed.
Right.
It looked like he was trying to escort her out, but she was talking so much that maybe he was taking the concentration off of just trying to get her out, but he didn't want to push her. He didn't want to, because that might have set her off. You see what I'm saying? She was already handcuffed. Although she said, "Go ahead and handcuff me. It's cool." She still wasn't happy about it. Okay.
No.
And she kept focusing on her sister and that her sister was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't until she actually saw the sister getting ready to be handcuffed that she just totally flipped out. You see what I'm saying?
And that it just went south from there. So let us know what you think of this.
Let us know. There you go.
Let us know what you think of this video. Did this officer act unreasonable? If you feel he did, please leave us a comment below telling us your reason why. And how would you have handled it? What would you have done if you were that officer? Would you have hit her? Would you have sprayed her with pepper spray, or we call it OC spray? What would you have done? Let us know. And or also too, do you think it was a racial incident? Was this another racial incident between a black person and a white police officer? If you like this content, hit that like button for us. Subscribe to us if you're new to our channel, and share this out with everybody. Let's get this conversation going. Was this an excess of use of force, and did this officer act unreasonable? Without any further questions, I don't have anything else. Mike, do you? We can go ahead and wrap this up.
No, that's it. It was a good talk, good video. I'm glad. Again, we give you our insight as to what we would have done if we responded to this same call, and the same facts would have happened. We're just giving you our opinion of how we would have probably handled it, and whether we think something was wrong or not. That's all.
That's it. Oh, the 22nd of July, Mike and I, we're going to go live. We're going to do our first show live. It won't be pre-recorded. So mark your calendars for that day. I also put out a little ticker on Facebook and on YouTube here once I figure it out how to do it, letting everyone know that we're actually going to go live, so you can chime in with us and talk to us and let us know what you think while we do a show. All right, so that's going to be on Thursday, the 22nd of July. We're going to go live, do our first live broadcast here. All right, so thank you for watching. We'll see y'all next week live.
Peace out.
Peace.